him to make sure that he was up to speed with the cases. So he has 2 different bench warrants, and I've already imposed a bond. So your total bonds is $1,050, sir. And make sure the clerk's office has your address.
Yeah, you can find it over there.
All right, Carlos Antonio Sandoval, Luis Carlos Antonio Sandoval.
She also has a probation violation case, F22-3500.
All right, is there a hold? What state are you requesting a hold?
Yes.
All right, and what are you requesting on these cases?
We would request that the bench warrant amount be converted to bond.
So what amount?
On the case ending in E3E, that'd be 1,000. In the case ending in PKE, that'd be 500. And the case ending in HYE, that'd be 500.
All right, so on the one PKE 500, on the one, what about HYE?
HYE is 500.
Judge, since he is well, since he has the felony case, would the state be willing to just do the dollar bonds on the traffic cases?
We'd be willing to do a lower bond than what's been set out in the bench warrant amount, but not $1. We'll defer to the court.
All right, now, in light of the fact that he has a probation matter pending, I'm gonna leave the bonds that the judges issued. So we'll have a $500 bond on PKE. On HYE, we'll have a $500 bond. On E3E, you will have a $1,000 bond.
With the whole, correct?
Correct.
Corrections, can we get the felony case number again, please?
F22-3500.
Thank you.
Yes, and when we just reset the jail report. We have to write the felony number from the F12.
3,500.
Yes.
Daniel Julius Rams.
He's out on felony bond, F25-4736.
Morning, Your Honor.
Mr. Rams, I find probable cause in your case. You were out on felony bond on, what's the case number again? I'm sorry.
F25-4736.
Or 736. There's going to be a hold on that case. I'm going to set a bond of $1,000 on this case. And you're going to appear before the division judge. Do we know what division is?
No, Judge.
All right, you're going to appear before the division judge who will address your bond on that case. You have a hold now.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm sorry, Judge, what was that case number for the felony?
F25-4736.
I'm sorry,
F25.
F25
3,500.
Judge
Oh,
Hernandez.
F25-4736.
4736. Thank you.
Dean Hernandez?
Yeah, it's me.
There we go.
That's me. All right, I'll see you soon, Mr. Rams. It's gonna say he looks familiar. David Demblins, David Demblins.
Your Honor, this, well, let's see if we can.
This is a bond out.
Segundo Armando Coronel.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Coronel. All right, I'm gonna find probable cause. And Dave, do you have a recommendation? What is it? How's his TPO? What does he have?
I don't see his TPO. He does have a litany of priors, the most recent one from 2006 though.
All right, so what's your,
Just standard bond.
all right, Mr. Coronet, I'm gonna impose $150 bond.
Your Honor, can I say something? I take care of my mom. My mom's 87. She's embedded. Can I get an ROR? I promise to appear in court.
State to.
No objection.
Alright.
Does he,
He has it.
file PTS?
He has a bunch of convictions.
Right, I don't know if they're gonna take him if. All right, Mr. Coronet, I'm gonna ROR you. You cannot drive. Do you understand me?
No, yes, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm gonna ROR.
Okay,
You have to appear in court. If you do not appear, they're gonna
bench woman, I know.
for your arrest. So
Your Honor, are you issuing a no drive order?
Is this
Yes.
okay?
Is my address?
Mhm.
Yes, at 383 East 14th Street, 33010.
Apartment 4,
No, it's a duplex, it's a house.
duplex, okay.
Yeah,
But is it like in a specific address for you?
yeah,
Okay,
it's
all right.
383, yeah.
all right, Mr. Coronet, you cannot drive. I'm issuing a no drive order. Do you understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and finally, Alexis Castaneda Rodriguez.
That's a bond now, Judge.
Calm down.
Not good enough for you?
Okay.
Got it in before you could object.
I need assistance with the Spanish interpreter.
Who is this?
Mr. David Castillo Montiel.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Castillo Montiel.
Yeah,
Buenos días, señor Castillo Montiel. Good morning.
buenos días.
Good morning.
All right. I'm gonna find probable cause.
Hallo que si existe motivo fundado.
It's a $150 bond. And this case.
Fianza de $150 por este caso.
Also, you cannot drive. I'm gonna impose a no drive order as well in your case.
Y en su caso también, señor, le voy a poner una orden judicial de no conducir. No puede manejar.
You have a license. You cannot drive unless you obtain a valid driver's license from the state of Florida. Do you understand me?
Si usted no tiene licencia, usted no puede manejar hasta que usted no tenga una licencia válida del estado de la Florida. ¿Sí me ha entendido?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
We have a few remaining flaps.
Judge, we have Mr. Ronald Chinchilla, that's number 42.
All right.
Chinchilla.
Yeah. So Mr. All right, Mr. Chinchilla. I reviewed this yesterday. I did find probable cause. I'm gonna issue a $150 bond on the DWLS knowingly. All right. Okay. All right, and I think we have Kevin Lamont Henderson.
Yeah.
Is he there?
Yes, Judge, he's not here.
All right, Mr. Henderson, good morning. I've appointed the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. All right, I found probable cause on both cases, on the M25-13561 and the M25-13562. State, what's your recommendation?
Recommend ROR. You would stipulate the ROR.
And ask that he be placed on the homeless calendar.
All right, Mr. Henderson, the state of Florida has agreed to ROR you on both cases. I'm entering a stay away order. You have to stay away from the 7-Eleven located at 735 Northwest 12th Avenue. Do you understand me? Yes? Okay. You're also going to get notice in open court. You have to appear on July 30th at 9 a.m. in courtroom 6-7 at the Richard E. Gerstein building. She's going to give you the information. Okay? July 30th. If you do not appear, there will be a warrant for your arrest. And you'll be back.
So this is misdemeanor cases. Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna write on.
Wait.
It's okay.
You think we'll make it? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna leave this thing here then.
Up with Dustin Pinero. The only flap I have left.
That has a hearing on July 15th. SoCal.
Okay.
All right. Okay. That completes the misdemeanor traffic.
Your Honor, this is Joanne Hennessy for the City of Miami Beach. I'm just here for the misdemeanor traffic, if I could be excused.
You can be excused. Thank you.
Thank you. Good day.
Marcus, we have the case.
Oh, yes, Judge. This is one correction to us.
Jemiah Cunningham.
Yes, Judge, we have a discrepancy with count 2. She tried to bond out yesterday.
You have a discrepancy. What do you have the bonds at?
I have count 2 was 500 and count 1 was 1,000. Count 2 is the discrepancy in C, just it has count 2 as 100. I have 500 on the jail card.
2,
Yes,
100,
and sieges, yes.
1,000. That's what's written in by the judge, by Judge Outfield.
Okay, they have count 2 as 100, Judge?
They have count 2 as 100, yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Please, thank you. I don't know what you want to do with this. Here you go. Hi, good morning. How are you? How many are felonies? How many felonies? Yeah, let's go through it. You don't need a bathroom break. It's fine. No one needs a bathroom break. Anybody have a stapler?
Yes.
Thank you.
No, we didn't.
They don't like paper over there. No, it's just things have been done a certain way for so long that. No, I know they're trying to go for it. It's gonna happen. No, it's gonna happen. They're close.
Really?
I'll
be going. Not this year. Okay.
They should do Pacer. I mean, Pacer is federal. Everything is scanned, attorneys cannot, everything is scanned and e-filed. And it pops up on a system. You cannot file anything. The only thing you file conventionally is the court because there are no clerks in files. The clerks are the lawyers. So the lawyers have to keep track of all their exhibits. And then there's stipulation, the exhibits. And then those exhibits get convention. I'm sorry. I mean,
No.
I was like, what do you mean I keep my own exhibits?
No.
Yeah.
I can see all the problems.
No, but it's honestly, it's foolproof.
No.
It's there's
I mean, but just from the point of view of clarity that. There are
no clerks. There are. I remember the first witness. I saw one of the attorneys pass up a piece of paper and asked the judge's law clerk to mark it. And the law clerk was like, "Why are you doing this paper?" And he was a state court practitioner. And then the judge was like, "That's not how we do it here. You enter it in the record. You keep track of the exhibits, have stipulations." It's very foreign, but it works.
Yeah, well, it works, but it's not correct because it's not the purview of the parties to do before.
They don't have, I mean, they have books for certain things for the case or stuff.
It's just like e-filings, there's no quality assurance on that. It's in our system. But
Oh, I know there's a lot.
it's scary. I can understand it when it's serious. Like here. Yeah, but the problem is then you have to look the other way on the intention of the law.
Because listen, there's clerks, there's the law clerks keep track of what exhibits got admitted at the end. Everyone gets together, confirms that those were in fact admitted, and then they get back.
Yeah, but stipulating isn't, answer. Yeah, you have to stipulate a lot.
Yeah. Are you actually? I am.
That's the
Yeah,
way.
I know. Oh, Cam. Yeah, Cam. My first time yeah. I'm on the second floor. Okay, I'm second floor. Yeah, I'm on the booth. Yes, yeah. Yeah. They told me you wanted to read it. I'm about half the time. I read it before. Oh, yeah, some of them. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
They're all.
Yeah. There's too much paper. I just really think.
All rise and raise your right hand.
Todos de pie y levanten la mano derecha.
All rise and raise your right hand.
Pónganse de pie y levanten la mano derecha.
All rise and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony about to give me the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Say I do.
Juran decir la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad. Digan, lo juro.
What do they want to start with?
Yeah.
12. All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Judge Christine Hernandez. I'm going to be the presiding bond hearing judge today. Unless I am notified otherwise, I'm going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent everyone in these matters. To accommodate corrections, we're calling out of turn Levan Cazola Compagnoni.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Peyton Skeens for the record. We accept appointment on all cases. Could you please provide me the number?
All right, he's on page 12 of the calendar, number 40.
Thank you.
All right, and for the state of Florida, can you announce your appearances?
ASA Megan Fernandez on the
ASA Kyle Bennett on behalf of the state.
All right, is this,
Can we take one at a time, please? Mr. Henderson, Kevin.
one okay, or do you want both?
I'm sorry?
Mr. Henderson, Kevin. Can we take one at a time for Mr. Henderson, Kevin?
Okay, what page is he on?
Page 7, number 23, Your Honor.
Or are we not taking Casola right now?
Casola, I don't believe he's here, is what I've been advised by corrections, that number 40, Casola is not here. But right present with me is Mr. Henderson, who is also on Your Honor's misdemeanor calendar.
Yeah, he was the last one we did.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Henderson, good morning again. I've appointed the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. All right, I find probable cause in this case. All right, on count 1, I'm going to issue a $2,500 bond. On count 2, I'm going to issue a $500 bond. On count 3, I'm going to issue a $500 bond.
And Your Honor did just place him on the homeless calendar for his other 2 misdemeanors, M25-13561 and M25-13562. I'd be asking for TAP with alternate bonds. Mr. Henderson is homeless.
Do you have any objection to TAP?
One moment. Your Honor, yes, in light of the litany of priors.
All right, so I'm not going to allow it. I know that the state of Florida agreed to ROR him on his petty thefts, but on these cases, I'm going to impose a bond.
Judge, what was count 2?
Count 2, 500. All right, are we going to address Mr. Casa Compagnoni?
Because it was the.
Judge, are you calling Casola?
Sola Compagnoni? That's how I have it.
He refused.
He what?
Refused.
Okay, refused. Do I have to put anything or no?
Just for the bond things, to put
Is the
reset
top of the packet? I'm
refused and
confused.
small things.
What's the top?
Top is this Jacinta. Oh, Jacinta is yours. So second would be Gardner.
So can I go back to the beginning?
Gardner's here.
Okay, so this is the bottom?
All right, Roberto Garcia.
Did Your Honor issue a bond for Mr. Casola, or are you resetting for his presence?
I'm resetting for his presence.
Okay, wait.
On page,
Mr. Garcia is Ward D reset for tomorrow.
okay, so all right, Rafael Diaz.
Mr. Diaz is also Ward D reset for tomorrow.
He's being represented by Mr. Pizzi.
The register.
That's the one that the attorney showed up with.
Randy Joel Martinez.
Your Honor, just so the state can follow along, are we still taking,
Out of turns.
out of turns?
Yeah.
Okay, what page of the calendar is he on?
Mr. Martinez refused, Judge.
Used, reset for tomorrow.
It's Martinez?
This is Randy Martinez, number 45 on page 14.
Yes.
Okay.
We don't have.
Like, they're all like together.
I
don't know if that's
Here.
here.
Right here, Martinez.
Isaac Monte Lumpkin on page 15.
Mr. Lumpkin refused.
All right, reset. Lexter Corlan.
Refused.
All right, defendant refused. Ramon Brandon Sartor.
Refused.
Blaine Sanchez.
Refused.
Wilbert Pettit.
Refused.
Tavares Bender.
Also refused.
All right. Now we're moving back to the beginning of the calendar. Jacinta Mwemi Munavu. Right, assign probable cause.
Yes, Your Honor. While I don't have a probable cause argument, I do believe that there'd be a valid motion to suppress on the basis of the A form. I'm asking for a release on that basis. They did ask her not if she had any weapons, but if she had anything illegal in her possession without reading Miranda. I do think there's a viable motion just on the face of this A form. I would ask for a release based on that.
All right, Steve, do you have any objection to RMR?
Yes, Your Honor, they have, this defendant has multiple open cases right now, so we would be asking for standard bond.
All right,
Open cases.
I'm gonna.
Would Your Honor consider pretrial services? She does have an address listed on the A form.
Yeah, she has open cases, so I'm gonna issue a $500 bond on count 1 and a $500 bond on count 2. And I found probable cause. Shakia Quantrell Gardner. All right, good morning, Ms. Gardner. You're being represented by the Office of the Public Defender.
Your Honor, I do not have a probable cause argument, but I would like to note that this was a jointly occupied vehicle. There was no warrant to search the vehicle, nor is there any exception to search the vehicle. So again, there's I think on the face of this A form, a valid basis to suppress. I'd be asking for release based on that.
All right, I'm going to issue an ROR on this case. Ms. Gardner, you're going to be released on your own recognizance. However, you still have this case pending.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and you have to appear in court. If you do not appear in court on these counts or on this case, they're just going to issue a warrant for your arrest. Okay?
They're gonna send me something, right?
It's an R on both counts, Judge?
Yes. What?
URR?
Yeah. I found BC, but I'm going to ROR her. Do I have to sign this Yeah.
Put count one ROR.
No, I know, but you have to put my initials.
Oh,
No.
okay.
All right, you stamp. Oh, that's right. Stamp. All right. All right, Stephanie Lynn Gerhold.
Your Honor, she is present before the court. I do have a probable cause argument. It does say in the arrest affidavit that she thought she had an arrangement to live there. There has to be an intent to commit a crime therein for burglary. There's no intent to commit any crime, so there's no probable cause for burglary. I'd be asking for a release on her, a release outright.
State.
I'm just trying to find where it says it.
The defendant admitted that she brought a new door lock with her and gave it to Raul to replace existing rear door lock. She claims she was at the property based on an arrangement to begin paying rent.
So no objection. No objection.
All right, so you have no objections to an RR?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Gerhold, you're gonna be ROR'd on this count. You still have, I find probable cause, but you're gonna be ROR'd. Also, don't go back to that property. You don't live there.
You don't need to say anything, okay?
Okay.
Everything is being recorded. Sorry. No, you're good.
All right, Michelle Bloom. All right, I'm gonna find probable cause. All right, state, do you have any recommendations?
Your Honor, I'm sorry, my microphone was muted. I have a probable cause argument because there's no case numbers listed in this arrest affidavit. Therefore, it's just a conclusory statement that she has 2 prior convictions. I think Your Honor could find probable cause for misdemeanor petty theft, but not felony petty theft.
All right, I'm gonna overrule that. And I'm gonna find probable cause for the felony petty theft. State, what's your recommendation? All right, Ms. Bloom, I'm gonna impose a bond in your case. For count 1, you're gonna be given a $2,500 bond, and count 2, you're gonna be given a $1,000 bond. In addition, you have to stay away from 17. She qualifies for PTS state.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if the court would be willing. She can't afford the bond as set, but a pretrial services with an alternate bond, she does have an address.
All right, so the state of Florida is agreeing for pretrial services with the alternate bond on count 1 of $2,500. Alternate bond on count 2, $1,000. Also, Ms. Bloom, you need to stay away from 1750 West 37th Street in Hialeah, Florida, which is a Target.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If you go to that Target, you're in violation of your pretrial release order, and you could potentially risk being rearrested. All right. Hannah Danielle Goldsmith.
Yes, Your Honor, I don't have a probable cause argument, but I would like to note, she has no priors, no arrests or anything. I'd be asking for a release for that reason. Otherwise, pretrial services.
All right, state.
The state would ask for standard bond based on the nature of the
Yeah.
offense.
I'm gonna find probable cause. I'm not gonna grant pretrial services. I know she has no priors, but based on the nature of this offense. And Ms. Goldsmith, you need to stay away from the victim. Do you guys preparing the stay away order?
Oh, sorry.
Ms. Goldsmith, you need to stay away from Autumn Bailey. You're not to have any contact with her. You must stay at least 500 feet away from her or her home. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna issue Ms. Goldsmith's case for an aggravated battery is $7,500. It's a $7,500 bond.
And would the court allow her to return to the location to collect her stuff with an officer escort?
Yes, I'll allow that. I'll place that in the stay away order. What's the address? Well, the address, someone use the address on the A form. The address is 13605 Northeast Third Court, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Apartment 204.
Yes.
Right. All right, Bernadette, is that level?
Your Honor, is that being called out of turn or
No.
is that an add-on? Where?
You need the A form?
Can we just?
Do we have a case number?
That's F 25 013 524.
013? Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna find,
You give it to me one more time. I'm sorry.
F 25.
probable cause.
Would the court grant pretrial services, there is no amount of bond that Ms. Lavelle can afford?
She take, with pretrial should know her priors. She doesn't qualify. Yeah. And she has an open misdemeanor. So right now, I'm gonna find probable cause on Miss Lavelle's case. I'm gonna issue a $2,500 bond. Right. Jesse William Farnham.
Your Honor, he's present before the court. Come stand here, sir. I do have a probable cause argument only as to how for count one, it's actually charged in the arrest affidavit. There's no, permanent disfigurement that it's alleged in this A form so they're charging under subsection 1A1. I think maybe there's probable cause under 1A2. Additionally, count four, there's no mention of a protective injunction violation in this A form, so there's no probable cause.
All right, state.
As to count one, aggravated battery with a weapon, there is a weapon mentioned on page 2. The defendant aggressively went after the victim with the baton in hand. So that satisfies probable cause as to that. As to count 4, I need to read.
All right, I'm gonna find probable cause as to count 1, 2, 3. No probable cause as to count 4. As to count 1, I'm gonna issue a $15,000 bond. As to count 2, I'm gonna issue a $5,000 bond. As to count 3, I'm gonna issue a $5,000 bond. Count 4, no fee, he'll be released outright on that.
Your
So-
Honor, I do believe that the 5,000 on count 3 is higher than the standard bond. I'd request a standard bond. I
Well,
have it
I'm
as
not gonna
20.
bond in light of these charges, in light of what's alleged in the A form. So he'll have a total of $25,000, count 1, 15, count 2, 5, count 3, 5, count 4, he'll be released outright. You're also, sir, you are to stay away from Lisa Laura LaRose. You're not to have any contact either directly or indirectly with her.
Yes, Your Honor.
Was asked for no bond.
No, but it's not one of the enumerated crimes.
Juan Carlos Hernandez.
Good morning, Your Honor. He's present before the court. I do not have a probable cause argument, but on the face of this A form, there is a viable motion to suppress. They approach him. They say that they make a consensual encounter. But then the odor of cannabis is not really a valid basis to stop or arrest someone anymore. In light of the changing law and the memorandum that was sent by the state attorney's office in 2019. They did do a narcotic search in violation of Mr. Hernandez's rights. I'd be asking for a release.
And we would object and ask for standard bond based on the numerous priors that the defendant has, most recently in 2019.
If the court is inclined to grant bond, I'd ask for pretrial services.
I'm sorry?
He's out on bond.
He's out on bond? Juan Carlos Hernandez?
See what he has open.
Oh, he is on an, no.
He's
No,
not the
prison.
primary.
All right, I'm gonna find probable cause. I'm gonna grant $1,000 bond in this case. All right. All right, Edicto Sanchez Marine.
He is out on bond.
All right.
Mr. Sanchez Marine is out on felony bond F259591.
Right, so there should be a hold on that. And on the F25 13526, reviewing the arrest affidavit. All right, Mr. Sanchez Marine, do you need the services of the interpreter?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Sanchez Marine, you were out on bond on F259591. There's going to be a hold. You're going to appear before the division judge regarding that case. On F25 13526, I'm going to find probable cause. I'm going to impose a $2,500 bond.
In light of the felony hold, I would ask for a $1 bond, Your Honor.
State, do you have any objection?
No.
All right. So you'll have a $1 bond on this case. All right. Johnny Andres Villa.
Your Honor, I do have a probable cause argument for Mr. Villa. Do you speak English? Okay. Under the camping ordinance 70-45, it's not camping. You actually have to you have to be in a temporary shelter. The statute specifically says being in public is not enough under the ordinance. Because they couldn't arrest him for camping, they couldn't subsequently search him. So I'd ask for a release outright on both charges.
Do you have any rebuttal to that?
Your Honor, no response to the camping argument as it pertains to the cocaine possession. That sounds more like a motion to suppress issue that would be litigated pretrial.
All right, so I'm not going to find PC for the camping. But I'll find PC for the possession of cocaine. Would he qualify for pretrial services? He's home.
Your Honor, he does not have any place to stay. He doesn't have any felony priors. I understand this would be a motion to suppress, but because they violated his rights, I would ask for a release on his own recognizance on count 1.
All right, well, that hasn't been determined. I know that the 4 corners of the form is a summary, and it's just a summary giving the officers probable cause. So you can litigate that before the judge. Right now, in light of the fact that he has no contacts here, I'm going to issue a $500 bond in this case.
Would the court grant TAP with an alternate bond of 500?
Is he eligible for TAP?
I don't know if we don't do.
Oh, TAP.
Yes, he should be eligible. He
Okay,
doesn't-
I'm gonna TAP with alternate bond of 500.
For both counts?
He has 2 counts, Judge.
Oh, no, I'm not gonna find PC on the camping, but he'll be released outright. Carlos Capote.
Is that for Capote? I'm sorry, I almost gave you the wrong one.
It's for my guy.
All right, I'm gonna find probable cause.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. I do have a probable cause argument as to count 3. This is considered a malt beverage or beer under 563.01. This is an exception to the curb drinking statute. It's not a curb stand or a drive-in stand either, so there's multiple arguments as to probable cause for count 3. Therefore, the search incident to arrest was unlawful and shouldn't be considered. I'm asking for a release on all cases. In addition to that, he only has 1 felony withhold from 1983.
I'm not aware of those exceptions.
If you read the statute 562.453, I have it up on my computer right now. It says, it is unlawful for any person to consume any intoxicating liquor, except malt beverages of legal alcoholic content. If you look to the definition of legal, malt beverages, it's beer or malt beverage under 6% alcohol by volume. On the face of the A form, it's 5.9 alcohol per volume. Therefore, it is a malt beverage under the statute. So there's no probable cause for that charge. Again, search incident to arrest was unlawful and should not be considered. I'm asking for release.
It's not unlawful for any person to consume any intoxicant except malt beverages of legal alcohol. And you're saying that the 5.9% alcohol per volume is legal?
Yes, Your Honor. If you go to the definition section of the alcoholic beverages and tobacco, beer, and malt beverages, is chapter 563. The definition of beer means a brewed beverage that meets the federal definition of beer and contains less than 6% alcohol by volume. The terms beer and malt beverages have the same meaning when either term is used in the beverage law. This is used in the beverage law enforcement chapter, which is 562. Therefore, the exception of malt beverages of legal alcoholic content, again, less than 6%. This is not no probable cause.
All right, I'm gonna find PC for counts 1, PC for counts 2, no PC for count 3. He'll be released outright on that. With regards to count 1, he's gonna be given a $2,500 bond. And count 2, I'm not reducing the bonds.
Pre-trial services with an alternate bond, he does have an address.
No, and $500 on the second count.
That was 25 and 500, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Yolandi Quesado Blanco.
He's out on felony bond, Judge of 259194.
All right, there should be a hold on the F259194. Does he need the interpreter?
Yes, he needs the interpreter, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Quesado Blanco, you're being represented by the Office of the Public Defender. You're currently out on bond before Judge Rodriguez.
Señor Quesada Blanco, usted está siendo representado por la Oficina de los Abogados de Oficio y usted actualmente salió bajo fianza por un caso frente al juez Rodríguez.
All right, State. I'm going to find probable cause on both cases in light of that.
I do have a probable cause argument if the court is willing to issue a dollar bond, though. I think that there's, as to the case ending in 13530, there's only probable cause for trespass on count 1. It doesn't say that he changed the locks or otherwise had any intent to commit any offense therein.
Okay, one moment. Su señoría, tengo alegatos con respecto al cargo número 1 en el caso 13530. Ahí se le acusa de entrada ilegal. No hay nada que indique que haya cambiado los seguros o las llaves.
All right, no, I find probable cause for both counts, and with the state's concurrence, I'll grant a dollar bond.
Hallo que sí existe motivo fundado por ambos cargos y con el acuerdo de la fiscalía voy a otorgarle fianza de $1 por cada cargo.
Judge, that's on which case?
On the F-25-13531 and the F-25-13530, both cases will have a dollar bond on each count.
Por cada caso, en cada cargo tiene fianza de $1.
And he has a hold, obviously.
Y obviamente tiene una detención.
Marion Gordo McCutcheon.
Mr. McCutcheon is out on probation F24-16793.
All right, so there should be a hold on the F-24-16793. All right,
The only probable cause argument I have, Your Honor, is that it does say arrested for prior petty theft convictions, not convicted. So I think it's probable cause for misdemeanor petty theft, not felony petty theft.
all right, I'm gonna overrule that. I'm gonna find probable cause for the felonies. State, do you have a recommendation in light of the holds?
In light of the hold, a dollar bond to each.
All right, I'm gonna issue a dollar bond on each of the cases. And he should have a hold on his felony case F-24-16793. Mr. McCutcheon, you're gonna appear before Judge Hirsch, who will address your probation matters. And right now, if you do get out for whatever reason, you need to stay away from 26600 South Dixie Highway, Miami, Florida 33032. All right, Benjamin Zaydenstein.
Yes, he's here. Your Honor, he does speak. Is that Benjamin?
No.
Oh,
No, that's Juan Carlos Zamora.
okay. Do you want to address him or do you want us to get Mr. Oh, sir, Mr. Zamora, she'll address you. Your Honor, based on the four corners of the A form, it says nothing about injury at all. So I do believe there's might be probable cause for leaving the scene of an accident under 316.061, which is an M2. But there's no probable cause for a felony.
The charge is no serious injury.
But under the statute, there has to be some sort of injury for it to be a felony. Leaving the scene, that's the difference between felony and misdemeanor. There is no allegation of any injury, so there's only probable cause for misdemeanor leaving the scene of an accident, and that's statute 316.061. Again, the state's response to that would be that he is charged with leaving scene of the crash, no serious injury, that being a felony. There is no suggestion of an injury by nature of the charge.
Give me a second.
I don't know if the court wants me to respond, but it's charged under 2A is what makes it a third-degree felony typically. The driver has to result in injury to a person other than serious bodily injury.
Did you not hear me? I said I need to look up the statute. Give me.
I'm sorry, I can't hear. I'm sorry.
You can't hear because you're talking. All right, so state 316.027 2H says that the driver of a vehicle involved in a crash occurring on public or private property which results in injury to a person other than serious bodily injury shall immediately stop the vehicle at the scene of the crash. There's nowhere on the A form that alleges any injury whatsoever. So I'm going to find probable cause for leaving the scene of a crash, which is a misdemeanor. What is the standard bond on the misdemeanor?
My understanding is it's 250
Hmm.
on a second degree misdemeanor if there's injury versus if there's not, it's 150.
Is it a first degree misdemeanor?
The second degree misdemeanor leaving the scene of an accident.
So I'm going to impose a $750 bond. I'm going to find PC for misdemeanor, leaving the scene of a crash, no injuries alleged here. All right, Mr. Zamora, I've imposed a bond in your case, $750. If you bond out, you're going to have to appear on this case, okay?
Okay.
All right, Oscar Castillo. Oh, no, wait.
Going back to Zanzibar.
Yeah, Benjamin Zadenstadt.
He's here, Your Honor.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Zadenstadt.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
The only thing I'd like to mention to the court is that he does say it was prescribed, which is part of the statute, which is a defense or an exception to possession of a controlled substance. He has no priors and no arrests for the last 10 years. I'm asking for release.
All right, I'm gonna find probable cause. State, what's your position on the bond, if any?
Can stipulate the ROR.
All right, so the state of Florida, Mr. Zadenstadt, is stipulating to an ROR in your case. That means you're gonna be released on your own recognizance, but you're gonna receive notice regarding this case. You need to appear. If you do not appear, there'll be a warrant issued for your arrest.
I
Okay,
understand, Your Honor. So I'm gonna get a RR and release today, and then I'm gonna letter through mail.
Yeah.
To come back to TGK.
your address. Make sure they have your address, okay?
That's not my address.
We'll
Okay,
get your address.
Okay.
Give them your address so that they don't, so that you come to court, okay?
Yes.
Well,
All right, Oscar Castillo.
Mr. Castillo is a bond out.
Do I have to put anything on here? Just be a.
Mr. Castillo's a bond out.
Johan Valdesiriani.
Spanish interpreter, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Valdesiriani, you're being represented by the Office of the Public Defender.
Señor, usted está siendo representado por la Oficina de los Defensores Públicos.
Your Honor, I have probable cause arguments only as to counts 3 and 4, whenever Your Honor is ready.
Su señoría, tengo alegatos de motivo fundado con respecto al cargo 3 y 4 cuando su señoría esté lista.
Ready?
Okay, as to count 3, the section that is charged under, it does not say that the current violation or the previous violations are DUI, refusal, serious bodily injury, or fleeing. Therefore, there's no probable cause for count 3. As to count 4, there's nowhere in.
One moment.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead, interpreter. I'm sorry.
Thank you. En cuanto al cargo número 3, ahí dice que no hay actual quebrantamiento o en el pasado con respecto a manejar bajo los efectos, rehusarse o huir. Eso es en cuanto al cargo número 3.
As to count 4, there's nowhere in this A form that says that the license is permanently revoked, and that's the statute that they've charged it under, 322.341. Therefore, there's no probable cause for that count either.
Y en cuanto al cargo número 4, no dice en ninguna parte del formulario de arresto que la licencia haya sido permanentemente revocada. Eso es bajo el estatuto 322.341. No lo dice dentro de la planilla y por eso no existe motivo fundado.
All right, I'm going to find probable causes to counts 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to find no PC as to count 4. He should be released outright as to count 4. With regards to counts 1 through 3, count 1, I'm going to issue a $2,500 bond. Count 2, a $2,500 bond, and count 3, a $2,500 bond.
Bien, entonces hay que sí existe motivo fundado en cuanto al cargo número 1, 2 y 3. No existe motivo fundado en cuanto al cargo número 4. Con ese saldrá directamente. En cuanto al cargo 1, 2 y 3, tiene fianza de $2,500 por cada uno de los cargos.
All right, Oscar Cesar Osorio Peng.
That's a bond out, Judge.
I bond out. Thank you. Jermaine Gamble.
Good morning, Judge.
Mr. Gamble is present, Your Honor.
I got tasered.
Okay.
I'm reading why. All right, do you have any PC arguments?
I do not have probable cause arguments. I would just like to note that 2017 was the last time he had any sort of violent felony conviction. I'd be asking for pretrial services with an alternate bond.
Dave, do you have any objection to pretrial services?
He has multiple convictions this year of controlled substances, resisting without violence.
Wait, I was looking at the wrong one. No, he has too many.
Yeah, he has a lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
All right, Mr. Gamble, I find probable cause in your case. I'm gonna set on counts 2 and 3, $150 bond. But count 1, I'm gonna set, what's the standard on the F3? For the 5,000, a $5,000 bond on count 1.
Judge, what was count 1?
5,000. Right. Richard Remington Lee Jr.
He's now here, Your Honor. He does not have any felony priors. I'd be asking for release or tap.
State, what's your position?
Checking his NCICs really quick.
I'm gonna find PC in the interim.
He's been convicted of criminal mischief before this year in March.
What was the sentence? How come I don't have NC? I don't have priors for him. All right,
It's because it's in Palm Beach County, Judge.
all right.
So we would object to that and ask for standard bond.
You're gonna grant the standard bond of 2,500 in light of his previous conviction in Palm Beach just recently this year. All right, Luis Guillermo Alvarez.
And Your Honor.
Yeah, we passed him, Judge.
Pass him? Okay. James Agnat.
He's here, Judge. I'm sorry. We can take him.
Okay. Luis Perez Alvarez. Luis Guillermo Alvarez, I'm sorry. Does he need the interpreter?
He's not here yet. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Okay. With me, we would, since this is a crime punishable by life, we'll be asking for no bond. Defendant's case, we don't have the motion handy. So we would just make it or Tennessee.
He does speak English, Your Honor. I would like to formally invoke his right to counsel and his right to silence at this point.
All right, Mr. Luis Guillermo Alvarez, you're being represented by the Office of the Public Defender. You have 2 cases pending before this court, F25-13532. I find probable cause on that case, and I'm gonna grant you a bond on that case. What's the standard bond on the F? 7,500 as to count 1, 150 as to count 2. With regards to the F25-13550, you'll be held no bond. Do you know what division it's assigned?
Judge Susan.
Okay. Right, you'll go before Judge Susan as your division judge.
Okay, thank you.
James Agnat.
What's the name of the motion?
It's a motion for pretrial detention.
We don't have to file.
All right, James Agnat.
Mr. Agnat is on his way, Your Honor. Just to speed up the process, his last felony conviction was from 2015. I don't have a probable cause argument, but in light of the fact that he's homeless, I'd be asking for TAP with an alternate bond.
Dave, do you have any objection to TAP?
No, stay with stipulate.
All right, I'm gonna find PC. I'm gonna grant TAP with the alternate bond, 2,500. Right. Mr. Agnat, You've been granted TAP, alternate bond, 2,500, okay? All right. Ismael Jose Mateo.
Your Honor, I have no probable cause arguments. He is present before the court. He has no priors, at least from what I can see, no local priors. I'd be asking for his release, or for pretrial services with an alternate bond.
Do you have any objections to an ROR?
Defendant has no national priors or local priors.
Are you working, Mr. Mateo?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Mateo, I'm going to issue an ROR. However, I'm issuing a stay away order from the victim in this case, which I believe is your ex-wife. You are to not have any contact with her, either indirectly or directly. Do you understand me? You have to stay away from her 500 feet. Do you understand me?
Okay.
If she contacts you and you contact her, you're in violation of the stay away order. Do you understand me? If she contacts you, you need to ignore her until this case gets resolved.
Okay.
Understand me?
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to issue an ROR. You need to stay away from her, and you'll receive notices regarding your next court date.
Judge, that's an RR on both counts?
Yes. Oh, did I put it on count two? I don't think I put. Get me. Right, Tariq Jabari Joseph.
Mr. Joseph is a fugitive from Martin County with the bond of $10,000. He's also a fugitive from Palm Beach County, no bond.
And Your Honor, in light of the fugitive warrant, we'd be asking for a $1 bond.
He would stipulate.
All right, probable cause is found in light of the state stipulation. I'll issue a $1 bond on each of the counts 1 through 3. All right. Asmelio Arsenal Torres.
Mr. Torres as a whole for immigration.
Your Honor, could you give me 1 second? I'm sorry, we're waiting for Mr. Torres.
Okay.
Your Honor, while we're waiting on Mr. Torres, I can give the court my probable cause arguments just to speed things up if you'd like.
Sure, give me a second.
Okay.
All right, you can proceed.
Your Honor, as to count 2, there has to be an intent to use, there has to be either use or intent to use for 817.5682. There's nothing in the allegations that actually allege use or intent to use. Additionally, at count 3, the tampering, stepping on a bag, like stepping on narcotics is not tampering. Him just tossing the credit card and then being able to find it, he doesn't actually tamper with the officer's ability to find it. There has to be something more than just tossing something in the same vicinity. It has to be like thrown out the window of a moving car or kicking something down a sewer grate, according to the case law. Does speak Spanish.
All right, 817.568. So do you have any rebuttal to that regarding the intent to use? I know it says possession, but I'm looking at the statute now and it doesn't.
Estoy mirando el estatuto en este momento, sé que habla sobre tenencia. ¿Tienen algún alegato fiscalía con respecto a el intento de
What was
uso?
the identification? Hold on.
I also have a probable cause argument as to the second A form whenever your honor is ready.
También tengo alegatos con respecto a la segunda planilla de arresto.
All right, I'm gonna find, as to F-25, 13512, I'm gonna find PCS to count 1. I'm not gonna find PCS to count 2, and I'm gonna find PCS to count 3. So give me a second.
Cuanto al caso 13512, hallo que sí existe motivo fundado del cargo número 1, no existe motivo fundado cargo número 2 y sí existe motivo fundado cargo número 3.
Your honor, that might have been my bad. There are two, there's actually, it says 2, but there's 2 counts of count 2, so there's actually 4 counts.
Hay 2 cargos incluidos en el cargo número 2, o sea que de hecho son 4.
Which would be the fraudulent use or possession with intent to use of an ID will be no PC, counts 1 and 4. The possession of cocaine and the F3 tampering, I'm gonna find probable cause. And then let me just look at the second A form.
El caso que tiene que ver con uso fraudulento de identificación, es decir, no existe motivo fundado. Los cargos 1 al 4 de tenencia de cocaína sí existe motivo fundado y también es el delito mayor del tercer grado de alteración o manipulación de pruebas.
All right, you have an argument?
Yes, your honor. Nowhere in the 4 corners of the A form does it describe an intent to commit a crime therein. He can't be charged with burglary for either of these counts. That's my probable cause argument as to both counts 1 and 2.
I respectfully, I find probable cause as to count 1, he'll be held no bond. As to count 2, he'll be held on a $7,500 bond.
Cuanto al cargo número 1 y 2, su señoría, no hay nada dentro de lo que está dicho en el documento que tenga la intención de cometer un delito. La jueza ha dicho que sí existe motivo fundado. En cuanto al cargo número 1, será detenido sin fianza y el cargo número 2 tiene fianza de $7,500.
And for the first case, it's 2,500 on count 1 and count 4, and then release outright on 2 and 3.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Y por el primer caso es $2,500 por el primer cargo y I'm sorry, Judge, $2,500 for first and fourth.
Count 1, the possession of cocaine, and then a $2,500 as to the tampering. And counts 2 and 3, they'll be released outright, no PC.
Bien, entonces por el otro caso tiene $2,500 de fianza por cada uno de los cargos, por el 1 y el 4, y por el cargo 2 y 3 se le deja salir en libertad directa, no existe motivo fundado.
And
Your
Judge,
Honor,
he also has an ICE hold.
Y tiene una detención de inmigración.
This the wrong person was brought in here. I'm sorry, the wrong person was brought in here. This is not Mr. Arnal Torres. That's Melio Arnal Torres. So we're trying to get the right person in here. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Who is he? What's his name?
¿Cómo es su nombre, señor?
Ariel Pérez.
Ariel Perez.
Okay, so I'm gonna put a pin on Mr. Arnal Torres.
Okay, we have him here, but we can address Mr. Perez.
Let me address Mr. Ariel Pérez.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, wait, she's gonna address his case.
Just in front of me.
Judge, Mr. Perez Ariel is out on felony bond F2511651. He's also a fugitive from F Corps. No bond.
In light of the no bond, I'd ask for $1 bond. I do have probable cause arguments as to the burglary tool possession. There's no intent to use, so there's no PC.
Entonces, señor, usted tiene una detención por el caso F25111651 y no tiene fianza porque está en otro tribunal. Tiene la abogada de oficio está pidiendo fianza de $1 y dice que no existe motivo fundado porque no dice en ninguna parte que haya intento de uso de las herramientas para cometer un allanamiento.
All right, Mr. Perez, you're out on bond. So there'll be a hold on the F2511651, and I'm going to issue a $1 bond on this case.
Señor Pérez, usted había salido bajo fianza, entonces tendrá una detención con respecto al caso F25111651. Entonces ahí no hay fianza y le emito fianza de $1 con respecto a este caso.
Judge, you're going to issue a $1 bond on both cases on all counts?
Yes.
Fianza de $1 por ambos casos, todos los cargos.
Yes.
All right, on F20, Mr. Asmelio Arenal Torres. That's who thought we were addressing, correct? All right, Mr. Arenal Torres, do you need the services of the interpreter?
¿Necesita servicios de intérprete?
Okay, Mr. Arenal Torres, I've appointed the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
Señor, le he asignado los abogados de oficio para que lo representen.
I found probable cause on F25 13512 on counts 1 and 4.
Encontré que sí existe motivo fundado en el caso F25 13512, cargos número 1 y 4.
And I've imposed a $2,500 bond on those counts.
Y le impuse fianza de $2,500 por cada uno de esos cargos.
In counts 2 and 3, I did not find probable cause, so you'll be released outright on those counts.
Y por los cargos 2 y 3, hallé que no existe motivo fundado, o sea que queda en libertad directa por esos casos.
In F25 13511,
Y en el caso F25 13511,
I found probable cause as to count 1, you'll be held no bond.
hallé que sí existe motivo fundado en cuanto al cargo número 1 será detenido sin fianza.
In count 2, it'll be a $7,500 bond.
Y por el cargo número 2 será fianza de $7,500.
Judge, did the state file a motion?
They have not. All right. Michael Matthew Stanley. All right, good morning, good afternoon, Mr. Stanley. I've appointed the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Do you have any probable cause arguments?
No, Your Honor, but I would note he has no priors. I'd ask for a release. Doesn't pose a danger to the community.
Do you have any objection to an ROR state?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, good. No objection.
All right, hearing no objection, I'm gonna grant you, Mr. Stanley, a release, RORs to counts 1 and 2. You still have this case pending, so you're gonna have to appear before whatever judge it gets assigned to, okay? Troy Stewart.
Bond out.
Okay, bond out. Bryant Placid Hernandez. Right. Good afternoon, Mr. Hernandez. You're being represented by the Office of the Public Defender.
I don't have probable cause arguments, Your Honor. I would just like to note that this was as part of a Marchman Act. Given that, I'd ask for release.
Withhold on a felony assault in 2020, withholds in 2023 for criminals and resisting without violence, conviction for RWAV in 2019. We'd ask for a standard bond in this case.
And what are you recommending? What are you recommending, defense?
I'm asking for pretrial services with an alternate bond. He does have an address.
Yeah,
Who does he live with?
family. My mother.
All right, I'm gonna grant pretrial services, alternate bond. Count 2 will be a $500 bond, and count. What is it, 7,500? 5,000? I don't get those bonds.
It's 5,000, Judge?
On count one, alternate bond 5,000. On count two, it will be 500. All right. Oriel Mendez.
He needs a Spanish interpreter. Do you need, oh, no, he doesn't. Sorry, he does not require the Spanish interpreter.
Any PC arguments?
No, Your Honor, I just would like to note he has no local felony convictions. I'd ask for pretrial services.
State, do you have any objection? He was placed on probation in F-19 for a sale.
What's the last name?
Mendez. He has a case from 2024. All right, I'm not going to grant pretrial services. I'm going to grant a bond in this case in light of his recent priors. I'm going to grant count one, a $2,500 bond, and count two, he'll be R-ward. Okay, we already did Ariel Perez, right? Devius Leonard Harris.
Your Honor, I have probable cause arguments. Mr. Harris is present. Nowhere in the arrest affidavit does it say that a battery actually occurred. It says attempted a couple of times, but nothing, no actual touching. So that's my probable cause argument for count one. For count two, resisting an officer with violence, I don't believe there's any actual allegations of violent conduct, but I do believe there's probable cause for misdemeanor resisting without violence. I don't see anywhere in the four corners of the A form where there's probable cause for count three. And then as to count four, he's not an inmate under the statute, and he wasn't being transported to a holding facility. They're saying he's being transported to the hospital. So there's no probable cause for escape either. Additionally, at count five, the criminal mischief, there's no probable cause because they don't allege an amount of damages. So there's maybe probable cause for second degree misdemeanor criminal mischief, but nothing more.
State, what's your rebuttal to that?
On the resisting charge, it says reaching level 4 active resistance, the defendant physically attempted to escape arrest. And they had to use a taser. As far as yeah, so that would go to count 1 and 2.
And with regards to the escape? Okay.
A form says the offender began to flee from officers, refusing verbal commands to stop running and comply. Multiple officers deployed their department issued taser. The taser was ineffective.
All right, as to count 1, 2, 3, I'm gonna find probable cause. As to count 4, I'm gonna find no PC. He'll be released outright on that count. As to count 1, I'm gonna set a $7,500 bond. As to count 2, I'm gonna set a $2,500 bond. As to count 3, I'm gonna set a $2,500 bond.
And counts 5 and 6, Your Honor.
Give me a second. Counts 5 and 6 were a criminal mischief, 2,500, and disorderly conduct 150.
So the court denies the probable cause argument. There's just nowhere in the A form that says how much the damage is, so it should be a second degree misdemeanor.
All right, I'll grant PC to second degree misdemeanor, which is 150, is that correct? Right, so let's count 5. And count 6, so it'll be 150. All right, Orlando Cruz.
He speaks Spanish, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Cruz, do you hear me?
Señor Cruz, ¿me escucha?
All right, you're being represented by the Office of the Public Defender. I found probable cause. I'm going to be setting a bond in your case.
Usted está siendo representado por los abogados de oficio. Hallé que sí existe motivo fundado y voy a fijarle fianza en su caso.
Let's set a $5,000 bond in this matter.
Estoy fijándole,
No tengo dinero, no tengo familia.
estoy fijándole fianza de $5,000. I don't have any money. I don't have any family.
Did you say 5,000?
Yes.
Would the court grant TAP with an alternate bond of 5,000?
Su señoría le otorgaría el programa TAP.
This information. And
I'm
this,
sorry, Judge, I spoke over you, so I couldn't hear you.
it's okay. I'm not going to grant TAP. It'll be a $5,000 bond.
No le voy a otorgar el programa TAP. Va a ser fianza de $5,000.
All right. Christopher Corrali. Officers, do you know if we have any 130 officers? You guys in the back. Wake up. MDPD. Do we have any hearings at 1:30? Okay, good. All right, sorry. Christopher Corrali. He yeah. Corrali?
Just one moment, Your Honor.
We're almost done, guys. All right, Mr. Corrali. Good afternoon. Appointed the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
Good afternoon. God bless you, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, he doesn't have any priors. I would ask for a release. I don't know if Your Honor can see, he has a laceration on his nose.
My nose is broken.
I have informed him not to speak about the facts.
New Jersey?
Yes, ma'am. I am from New Jersey, but I'm staying in Florida now. I got a family in Port St. Lucie.
So why are you? Okay, well, I'm not going to ask any questions.
I came here.
In light of that, I'm not going to grant. See, what's your position on the bond?
It's like he has an out-of-county warrant from 2017 and from Jacksonville. And he has a couple priors from different counties in Florida, including criminal mischief and resisting without violence in Marion County.
Right. In light of that, I'm not going to grant pretrial services. So do you have an alternative proposal, defense? I'm finding probable cause.
Your Honor, there's no amount of bond that he can afford. I would be requesting some form of release, given that.
Can somebody look at the camera?
He has priors from New Jersey as well, including a felony conviction.
What are you requesting?
Just standard bond in this case.
What's the standard bond? 25. All right, I'm going to set $1,000 bond on each case. Abdallah Garcia.
Your Honor, he has no priors. I don't have probable cause arguments, but I would be asking for some form of release.
We'll take it, even if it's double-sided.
All right, state, what's your position?
Your Honor,
Abdallah Garcia.
we're gonna be filing a motion for pretrial detention, and we would ask that the defendant be held no bond. Given the charge.
All right, Mr. Abdallah Garcia, the state of Florida is filing a motion for pretrial detention. I'm gonna grant that motion. You're gonna appear before a division judge. I do find probable cause in this arrest affidavit. So you're gonna be held no bond until you appear before the division judge, which is division, do you know what division it is?
Yes.
Division 2.
All right.
I asked that the motion have no ruling. Sometimes we've had issues where the clerk's office just say the motion for pretrial detention is granted, just no ruling on the motion, and then reset it for the division judge. Just clerically.
Your request to conduct a pretrial detention hearing is granted. It'll be set before the division judge. That's not dispositive. They still have to have a hearing to determine whether or not there was a substantial probability that he committed the offense and whether or not there's any conditions of release that would ensure the safety of the community. All right, and Mr. Garcia, you're also to stay away from your wife, E.G. with the initials E. Garcia. You're not to have any contact with her until these matters get resolved. You're not to have any direct or indirect contact. You can't have anybody call her, text her, send her any messages. Do you understand me?
Okay, can I talk to my daughter?
You cannot have contact with any Miss Garcia. Now, if having contact with your daughter results in you having to make contact with your wife, then that's in violation of this order. And right now, you're going to be held in custody until you appear before the division judge regarding the motion for pretrial detention.
I'm gonna be held here.
Yes,
No
you
bond.
cannot speak to E. Garcia and no direct or indirect contact.
And you have to stay 500 feet away from her.
No problem.
He lives with her, no?
Yes.
I need a domestic one. You need to fill out a domestic here, because that has. Mr. Garcia, I don't know what your release is going to be. But I'm advising you of the stay away order regarding Miss Garcia. Okay. Right. Adrian Lewis Demblans.
Judge, what was the bond for Garcia?
No bond. And there's a motion
The
filed.
state file a motion?
Yes. All right, Adrian
No.
Lewis Demblans.
Sorry.
Speak English?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a probable cause argument as to count 2, the tampering. This is just not tampering. It says that he put it on the ground or he was holding his hands clenching something and then he put it in the floor in an effort to discard. The evidence was not discarded. They did collect it. This doesn't rise to the level of actually tampering with physical evidence or even attempting to.
All right, I'm gonna find probable cause as to count 1. I'm not gonna find PC as to count 2. State, what's your position on bond?
The defendant does have priors, we would ask for standard bond.
All right, defense, what's your?
Your Honor, I would ask for release given that he hasn't had any new cases since 2007. In the alternative, I'd ask for, I don't know if he qualifies for pretrial services, so I'd ask for release.
Through national priors, but just at least on the second page, I do already see a prior from 2008. So let me just
That's
confirm.
the last one?
I'm not sure if it's the last one, but that is just because defense counsel said 2007. So I already know that there's
I can only see the local priors, Your Honor, so I'm only going off of the CJIS local priors.
I believe so
All right,
far.
he lives in Key Largo.
2,000.
Yes, Judge.
All right, so I'm gonna issue a $2,500 bond.
And Your Honor, I do see, just for the record, I do see one from 2016 where confinement was in play.
All right, I issued a $2,500 bond.
No, this one was oral.
Well, no, we released outright on that one, no PC. Yeah. Right. Tommy Chavez.
Judge, we should be on Cabrera.
All right, Duomo Cabrera. Cabrera.
Your Honor could give me one moment. He requires the Spanish interpreter, Your Honor.
Okay.
Just stay away from Garcia.
We're on Duomo Cabrera.
I do not have a probable cause argument, but I do have an argument as to the motion to suppress just on the basis of the A form. The encounter becomes non-consensual and then they arrest him without probable cause to arrest. And that's search incident to arrest.
All right, see, what's your position on bond?
No encuentro motivo, no tengo alegatos con respecto a motivo fundado, pero sí con la moción para suprimir información.
Sorry, I apologize.
Yeah.
Aquí dice que el encuentro no fue de común acuerdo, o sea, no tenían por qué hacerle la requisa, entonces por ese motivo no existe motivo fundado.
Okay, what's your position on bond?
This defendant does have priors from 2025, so we would be asking for standard bond.
For this year? Is he?
Yes.
El acusado tiene antecedentes de este año, del 2025, entonces estaríamos solicitando fianza estándar, dice la fiscalía.
And Your Honor, the convictions are nonviolent in nature. He is listed as homeless. I would ask for TAP with an alternate bond.
Los delitos, su señoría, no son violentos, entonces estaríamos solicitando el programa TAP.
All right, the state of Florida was speaking, the prosecutor was speaking, and then you spoke over her. So I couldn't hear what the prosecutor was saying.
A ver, la fiscalía está hablando, un momento.
All right, you were saying, state?
So there is a controlled substance conviction from this year. Yeah, felony controlled substance possession, and there was time spent in the Dade County Jail as a result.
Hay una condena por una sustancia regulada de este año y sí cumplió tiempo en la cárcel del condado.
Your Honor, there are other controlled substance convictions from 2022, 2021. There's drug paraphernalia from 2021.
Can I put him in pre-trial services?
Su señoría él tiene condenas del 2022 y del 2021 por tenencia de sustancias reguladas y una de parafernalia para el uso de drogas en el 2021.
I'm not inclined to RR him, so what is your alternative?
TAP.
All right, so I'm going to issue TAP.
Bien, entonces no,
2,500.
2,500, Judge.
Yes.
No lo voy a dejar en libertad bajo palabra, pero sí podría salir bajo el programa de TAP, fianza alterna $2,500.
All right, do we have Tommy Chavez? Is he the next one?
He refused, Judge.
Oh, he refused. Okay. And then finally, Alexander Santos. All right, good afternoon, Mr. Santos. Says, is this correct corrections? He's on probation in F-24, 2081, 2082, and 4773 out of Judge Block's division?
That's correct, Judge.
So there's gonna be a hold on those cases. In light of that, Spence, do you have any PC arguments?
I do not, but I'd request a dollar bond in light of the probation hold.
State, do you have any objection?
Objection.
All right, I'm gonna issue a dollar bond on counts 1 and count 2 on this case. Mr. Santos, you're gonna be going before Judge Block. There's a hold. You're on probation in 3 cases, and they'll address the bond, if any, on those cases when you appear before Judge Block. If you are released, you are to stay away from 725 West 72nd Place in Hialeah, Florida.
Yes, ma'am. And I want to say sorry for the inconvenience. I'm very sorry. I don't remember
Don't need to
anything.
say anything.
And I do have a,
Everything that you're saying is being recorded.
I have a
just-
prescription for
everything
marijuana.
is being
I got
recorded.
charged.
All right, don't say anything, sir. You're gonna go before Judge Block. You can tell Judge Block everything. Okay, all right. Do we have anything else? All right, court's adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Judge, I do apologize. We had some sound issues, so I did not mean to speak over anyone.
Great, I'm sorry, just, I know you didn't do it intentionally. I mean, at first I was like, does she not hear us? What's your
Sometimes we have, I'm Peyton Skeens.
schemes? Okay, you did a good job.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge. You coming back next week?
Please do. Next week. You'll see me next year. How are you? Where they have you, Titus?
Huh?
Have you here?
I'm doing overtime.
You're going overtime. Okay, I was gonna say, you don't like wait.
You're right.
I think Smith will fight you.
Come again next week, please.
Everybody have a nice weekend.
You as well, Judge. Thank you.
All right.
Come back tomorrow.
And this.
So. No, I don't have.
I got scooters, but the skates, man. You know, for statutes.
I know.
I was
That was
like,
crazy.
pulling out my statue.
I learned today
No,
the malt beverage thing.